Thank you very much for your comments, particularly about the Farrago. And Gareth Jones makes a very interesting point. It's quite nice. Disagrees with me. Farage was offered another account within the same umbrella organisation, which he declined. When his mortgage and account were at Coutts, that was all taken into consideration. He is now under the threshold for their policies. Also, it is up to them who they do business with. For once, I find your lack of curiosity and your anger at the banks, which I understand fully, to have blinded you to logic. Well, I don't think logic is king, first of all, and I am curious, and I'm not angry. I'm just frustrated with banks. I find them. I find that they've got out of control. As for the Farage thing, I don't think if you've done something wrong, which Coutts have done something wrong, they've done two things wrong. Number one, they've been there's an infringement of privacy. They've spoken to the media about one of their clients, and that's indiscreet. And discretion is the first business of a bank. So they've broken their own rule, number one. Number two, they've been exposed as liars. Now, I don't think they can then say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and stick at the default position that they have arranged. I think they need to demonstrate some sort of meaning in the sorrow, and that would be to go back to the original position. You're quite right. For him to acquire a new account, he doesn't qualify. First of all, he hasn't got somebody to recommend him, I suspect. And secondly, he falls below their financial threshold. But I think at this point it would be in their interests to waive that and simply restore what was there in the first place with an apology. That would be the least they could do. I would certainly, if I were in the position of Mr. Farage, I would expect a financial payout, even if it's £5. It would at least show goodwill on their part. I don't think there is any goodwill on their part. I think they're just a money-making grabber. And for them to accuse Farage of being a grifter, well, that's exactly what they're doing. It's grifting, and it's nasty. And they're doing it with an air of superiority, which they simply do not deserve. So, yeah, you're right. I despise the banks. I think the banks have become not a support, but a crutch that is beating us. And I think that's not appropriate. When you know, the banks are the sort of people who would say to us, "Oh, why look at this lovely crutch. Why could you walk when you could hobble with this? It's a gold-plated crutch." And now that people have fallen for that deceit, they're bashing us with it. No, the banks are abominable, and they seem to be in this mire together.